Hi JC, I'd like to ask you a few health screening questions about alcohol, nicotine, tobacco, and other drugs that we're asking all students enrolled in our school-based health center. There'll be no written record of your answers that includes information that personally identifies you. Anything you tell me will be kept as confidential as possible. One instance where this information would not be kept confidential is if you say something that indicates there's an immediate risk to your safety or the safety of someone else. In any case, we would work together to figure out next steps and how to best support you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Is it okay if I ask you these questions?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
During the past 12 months, on how many days did you drink more than a few sips of beer, wine, or any drink containing alcohol?
0.
During the past 12 months, on how many days did you use any marijuana? And for marijuana, this is cannabis, weed, oil, wax, hash. It's also whether it's medical or retail.
Maybe 6 or 7 times in the last year, just smoking weed.
Okay, we're going to continue going through these questions, but I'd like to circle back to this one a little later. During the past 12 months, on how many days did you use anything else to get high, like other illegal drugs, pills, prescription, or over-the-counter medications, or things that you sniff, huff, vape, or inject?
0.
During the past 12 months, on how many days did you use a vaping device containing nicotine or flavors or use any tobacco products? These could include e-cigarettes, mods, pod devices like Juul, disposable vapes like a puff bar, vape pens, e-hookahs, or traditional cigarettes.
No, none of that.
Have you ever ridden in a car driven by someone else or yourself who was high or had been using alcohol or drugs?
No, I haven't.
Thanks, JC. We just have a few more questions to go through together. Do you ever use alcohol or drugs to relax, feel better about yourself, or fit in?
Maybe to relax a bit when I'm stressed out.
Do you ever use alcohol or drugs while you're by yourself or alone?
I usually just smoke by myself when no one else is home.
Do you ever forget things you did while using alcohol or drugs?
No, never.
Do your family or friends ever tell you that you should cut down on your drinking or drug use?
No.
Have you ever gotten into trouble while using alcohol or drugs?
Well, not like in trouble with the police, but my mom came home early once and I couldn't cover the smell in time and she was like really mad at me.
Thank you for answering my questions today, JC. If it's all right with you, I'd like to just talk through your experience with smoking weed. I might refer to it as THC since that's the psychoactive component, but if I do that, it means the same thing. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
Could you tell me more? What do you like about using it?
I feel like I don't use it for the same reasons a lot of my friends do. I like to smoke alone because it helps me get in a super creative space, and I'm just better at making art when I'm high. Plus, I tend to be really anxious, so I use it to just chill out, and it makes me feel better.
So you like that you feel creative and say that it makes you feel less anxious, that you're a better artist when you're smoking THC. Is there anything that you don't like about it or that you like less?
Well, I kind of like most things about it, to be honest. The only thing I don't really like is when my mom caught me. She was like really upset, and it's affected our relationship ever since. She doesn't let me have much freedom now, and that really bothers me.
It sounds like being independent and your relationship with your mom are both important to you.
Yeah, it's a bummer not to be trusted.
Why do you think your mom might have been so upset?
I don't know because it's not good for me. Like, I know it supposedly affects decision making or something.
Is there anything else you've heard about some of the risks of using THC?
Well, just like it can make some people paranoid. That's never happened to me, but it did to one of my friends. And that smoke in general just isn't great for you.
Do you mind if I share some information about the risks for someone your age?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're here.
So you're definitely right about smoke inhalation being a risk to the health of your lungs, and that some people experience uncomfortable, paranoid feelings when they use it. You also talked about using it to relieve your anxiety sometimes, right? The interesting thing is that it's actually been shown to increase symptoms of anxiety and depression over time. So even though it might seem like it's making you feel better in the moment, it might actually be contributing to making you feel worse.
I didn't know that. That's pretty messed up. I've been really stressed out lately, and I really thought that this was helping.
Given what I've just shared with you, I'd like you to consider on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not ready at all and 10 being very ready, how ready are you to reduce or stop your use of THC?
Honestly, probably a 5 still.
Why did you pick a 5 and not something lower like a 3 or a 4?
Well, I think I could definitely cut back, especially since my mom barely leaves me home alone now anyway. But I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to stopping completely.
Thanks for being honest about that, JC. Although as a provider, I would definitely encourage you to stop using THC completely during your adolescence. Reducing your use is still a great step in protecting your health and safety. On a scale of 1 to 10 again, how confident are you in your ability to make this change to reduce your use?
Like a 9. I absolutely know I can cut down if I want to. I could probably even stop. I just don't want to lose out on feeling creative.
Are there times that you feel creative when you aren't using THC?
Yeah, I really like photography, and I'm really good at taking pictures of my friends. They always post the pictures I take of them. My grandparents actually got me a really nice camera for my last birthday too. So I've gotten good at using all of the professional settings, although I am still really good at using my iPhone.
It seems like you have an eye and a passion for it. That's really great to hear. What type of support do you think would be useful in helping you stay committed to reducing your THC use?
I just want stuff with my mom to be okay, for things to go back to the way that they used to be before she knew that I smoked weed. The fact that she's been so mad at me has been really hard. I'm super stressed out.
Would you be open to using some of the resources that the school-based health center has to offer? I deal with our medical visits, but we have a counselor who other students have told me is really great about helping them manage challenging feelings and problem-solve issues that students want to work on.
I'll have to think about it, but I would probably at least meet them. I've been to counseling before, like a long time ago, and I like the person that I worked with.
That's great to hear, JC. Teresa is the counselor who works at our school-based health center. You might have seen her around the halls at school from time to time. She's not here today, but she should be back tomorrow, and I'd love to just give you a chance to meet her to see if she might be helpful for you too.
Okay, but if I don't like her, I'm probably not going to go back.
No worries. I'm also available to talk with you anytime about your plan for reducing your THC use or for anything else you'd like to share with me. Before I let you go back to class, are there any other questions you have for me right now about any of the things we've talked about today?
No, just maybe make sure you're there when I meet Teresa.
Of course. I'll actually introduce you personally.
Okay, good.
So you got this. Thank you again for sharing all that you have with me today, and I will make sure to connect with you sometime tomorrow morning.